Several years ago, we had conducted this research we called the patronage optimization research. And essentially, we wanted to be able to understand what the most potent emotional disposition is of any consumer that would trigger increased repeat and sustainable patronage of any good or service. And essentially, we were also looking for solutions that could potentially help Africa redistribute wealth and potentially get out of poverty. We're also looking for the best way to help businesses thrive and be able to also impact society in very beautiful ways. So essentially, we had established this model we call the socially smart business model, and decided to lead a new generation of businesses that will become socially smart. By socially smart, we mean the marriage of successful enterprises and social development. And of course, part of what we found, essentially in the course of our research, is that as long as people are making purchases, people expect that they get good service or good products, but also expect to be rewarded. And we were wondering what kind of reward will make them buy more. Because by buying more, that means businesses will become even more prosperous and successful, and they'll be able to pay more taxes and impact society in a positive way. So our research essentially led us to something that's quite interesting. Not necessarily out of this world, but it was the nuances that we found that became so critical in the research, which is that consumers are primarily interested in rewards that are cash. People want cash first. You can offer them anything else. Many businesses are offering points. They tell you to come and redeem in their offices and all of that. And there's quite a bit of that that's going on. But consumers are interested in cash reward. But we also found something that was interesting. Consumers are interested in not just cash reward. They're interested in potentially life-changing cash reward. Now, all of us have some kind of dreams in our hearts. Everybody, right? Now, Nigerians and Africans, essentially, and even across the world, people know what to do with their cash, right? So when they're telling us during the research that what they really want is an opportunity for life-changing cash reward, it meant that we needed to create a product that will meet the expectation of consumers, that will help businesses understand that this is what your consumers really want, then this is how to actually optimize your customer loyalty investment. Now, this led us to the creation of Africa's first universal cash reward as a service. Essentially, we became the first company to establish a universal reward wallet, meaning that consumers in Nigeria and across Africa will have a single reward, a cash reward wallet that will work with every business. The size of the industry is pretty huge. And of course, we're just starting to exploit. We are currently in a partnership with MasterCard. We have helped MasterCard establish a sub-Saharan African platform for all MasterCard holders in Africa, where if you're a MasterCard holder, you go to the platform. It's called mydealzone.africa, where if you're a MasterCard holder, we have aggregated merchants across Africa that offers the CashToken reward. Now, our pilot phase includes Nigeria, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. That puts us in 6 countries on day one, as it is, and that is ongoing as we speak. And of course, that expansion will continue to go across Africa. Okay, COVID-19 came with a lot of challenges and a lot of opportunities at the same time. For us as CashToken Africa, one of the key things about CashToken Africa, or cash reward as a service industry, which is a new industry that we have really birthed, as the case may be, is that there has never been a time where purchases stop. People will continue to buy, and as long as they're making a purchase, that really became an opportunity for us. Because as people were buying, people were getting the guaranteed cash, and they were also getting their opportunities every Friday as they got into the draws that happened every day. So it brought us opportunities. But beyond the opportunities for us as a business in terms of making money and making our shareholders happy, we are very conscious of the gratification that comes with being able to impact people's lives. you are creating a product in Africa, right? And even generally at that, the genius is always in the simplicity. So you have to think about the different categories of those who are going to use the service. Now let's talk about the big businesses. The big businesses want things automated. They want it to be very seamless and the likes, right? Yeah. So the likes of the big players, the mobile networks, the Unilevers and all the likes, they would rather an automation. So provide them APIs, right? To be able to integrate with us. They can set all the objectives, on our system, and of course, everything becomes automated. Now, you can either go online to buy from them. If you buy from them online, as long as you have met their purchase threshold, you will receive your cash tokens. If you go on USSD, which is offline, you will be able to, if you buy your airtime or whatever from them, you will get the cash tokens. But part of what we have also done, apart from making this available at that level where you can go on the web, use the mobile app or USSD, it is that we are also the first company to make reward services available on the go for all businesses. There is no SME in this country today that wants to start a reward program that cannot start in 5 minutes. That is unprecedented. You cannot show me any place in Africa or anywhere in the world where you can start a reward program with a company as sophisticated as ours in 5 minutes. We're quite excited for that commitment. $100 million is good money for an African business to be able to expand and showcase what it has, not just to Nigeria or Africa itself, but of course to the world, as the case may be. So of course, our expansion path includes, first of all, optimizing what we have in Nigeria. While the cash token business is already successful in Nigeria, we have not done 5% of our potential at all. The business is much bigger than anyone can actually imagine. And that is because it is business that helps businesses optimize their value and of course help customers optimize what they get back and of course impact society at large itself. So first of all, we'll be spending a lot of money on marketing, we spend a lot of money on improving our operations and of course being able to prepare our business for the next level as the case may be when it comes to even technology. And that's quite a bit of investment in that. The other thing that we'll be doing is also investing in people. It's an important part where we're able to attract talent, we're able to retain, because we have a lot of talent in CashToken Africa, I can assure you. We're able to retain and attract new talent to the business. And of course, we're able to do this across Africa. So from Nigeria, optimization, going into Africa, especially the countries that we started out with MasterCard, and of course, entering other African countries. Of course, because it's a business, we have also been able to profile African countries in terms of how profitable each of these countries are and what kind of impact that we can actually make. Selectively, we have also picked a few African countries that are not as big as others and chosen them because we also want to be able to showcase the impact of socially smart businesses, as the case may be. Part of what we found with this African innovation is that it's actually a beautiful thing for countries across the world. So, my team, led by Simi Adeoye, who leads our expansion team, we've been looking at what's going on in the UK. We've been looking at what, I was in New York maybe like 3-4 times, last year, exploring those other places and looking at what is on ground. I can tell you that what we're bringing out of Africa is ready for all those countries. And in fact, they're eager to see that. It's going to be the first time also in Europe and America, where every time you make a purchase, the purchase can potentially change your life. So imagine what we're bringing out in the UK, starting out from New York. You're going to see a chance to win up to $100 million because you made the purchase in the US, happening also in the UK. So there's quite a bit of that we're going to be doing with that money. So we have a path to about 9 countries with our $100 million. And those 9 countries include a number of African countries. Then the bridge between Africa and the rest of the world is the UK that we've actually set. So we have a robust plan that we have already put into gear. But of course, one of the key things for our access to our $100 million is the listing on the stock exchange, as the case may be. So we're currently on the path to the listing of CashToken Reward Africa on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. But there'll be a dual listing because we'll be listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange and also on the New York Stock Exchange, showcasing what Africa has for the world and ensuring that we have a business that thrives and makes us proud also as Africans. So what we have done now, and we have an ongoing integration with CBN as we speak, right? And we're saying that we can establish the largest financial and digital inclusion program for Africa now, right now. so that every time a Nigerian makes a purchase digitally, he will receive the cash token reward every time. So we have a partnership with a company called One Number Limited, led by a young man called Habib. Habib is the CEO of One Number Limited, and we're partnered with them, offering our cash tokens on every purchase on that platform, meaning that shortly, as long as you have a NIN, you will be able to get the eNaira wallet, right? So you're going to see something called eNaira One Number. On that program, which starts soon, every Nigerian will be able to get a cash token reward on every financial and digital transaction they actually do. Now, I want you to imagine what this means. It means that many more Nigerians will want to do transactions digitally, becoming even financially included. And part of what we have done is also to meet them at the, there's something in CashToken Africa, there's something we call E-Not. Right? It is in the natural order of things. That means we will not take you out of what you will ordinarily do. Your phone number itself is a very powerful tool, as the case may be. So what we have done is to take our cash token, bring together different partners that can ensure that all Nigerians that have a phone in this country can do financial and digital transactions using their phone number, using the eNaira wallet, and of course, using the KYC you are provided by having a NIN, and of course, that all your transactions will be rewarded. And I didn't say some, all. That's unprecedented. All will be rewarded with cash token, which gives you instant cash on every transaction, and of course, puts you into the national consumer draw. You can't buy the cash token as lottery. It's a reward for patronage. So sometimes when people say, "I did a draw a lottery," I say, "We're not a lottery company. We will never be a lottery company. We're a cash reward as a service that offers rewards on patronages that are made to Nigerian and African businesses." Most rewards that you see, if you don't use them on time, they will expire. Ours does not expire. If you get a cash token today, your money goes into your wallet, your money does not expire. It's always there because it is what? Cash. And Nigerians like cash. Part of what we're also pushing and I think I should mention this, it may be instructive to mention this, is that many businesses believe that when they give you points, you must come back and spend it in their place, and that's the best thing to do. When you give them a reward and you free them, they come back to that place. You don't restrict them. People know value when they see it. And we have a few businesses that we have started out with that have actually tested this. The likes of Spa, started to use cash tokens. They've also done the research to see, okay, the Spa points are there, they're brilliant points, as the case may be. They have also tried cash token and done the research to say, what do you want? You want the regular points or you want cash token rewards, And of course, we're actually working also with them right now to bring back cash tokens, where it offers them a greater value than anything else. Okay, but what makes us stand out? It is the first time anywhere in the world where you have a universal cash reward wallet. That means you have one wallet for all businesses. So if you go to HMedics today and they are giving out cash token rewards, that means you get the same reward there. When you go to Spa, you get the same reward. When you buy airtime from MTN or Airtel, you get the same reward. When you enter Uber, you get the same. So one wallet. That means that all your cash is accommodated to one place. So they're not in silos. Customers don't like silos. So I get some points here. A lot that you won't forget. You go to another place, you get some small one you forget. But this brings it in one place, which is unprecedented. That makes us very unique. That's number one. Number two, it's also the first time where purchase, I'm not talking about promotions that happen maybe for 1 week or 1 month or 2 months. On the regular, always, till thy kingdom come. You have reward that comes as long as you're patronizing businesses offering it. So it's continuous, where you have guaranteed instant cash, which does not expire. And two, you also have the ticket into the weekly national consumer draw, which gives you, in Nigeria, a chance for 5K to 100 million. In other countries across Africa, it's different amounts. In the US, we're going to do up to $100 million, which means that it's a huge economy. So you find out that cash token is always looking at the size of each economy to determine its size, as the case may be. So an economy like Nigeria, about $500 billion, so you're just taking the percentage of it. See how much of this purchases can actually be rewarded in cash tokens, which gives us the kind of size that we're talking about. And ultimately, we will build a culture of expectation of rewards that can potentially change people's lives. And that's exactly what CashToken is. So it comes with a lot of opportunity for businesses. It comes with a lot of emotions for consumers whose lives are getting impacted because of purchases. And I'll tell you that sometimes it's very emotional for us at CashToken Africa when we see people crying. I mean, how could somebody imagine they will ever win 10 million naira because they patronize the business? There was a woman, this was a particularly interesting one for me. A woman who won just 20,000 naira. I think we have a video on it. 20,000 naira. The money came right on time. There was no food in the house. What did she do? She was a customer of MTN. Imagine that, right? And then this customer gets that. Just 20,000 naira that came right on time. Those are the kind of impacts we're talking about. And of course, for the bigger ones, the 100,000, 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, and they're doing businesses. So we're also tracking what people are doing with these monies. That's how we're able to put out our indexes, the happiness index, the impact indexes, and the likes, which we'll continue to do. And of course, we hope to work with you to churn out the data around this in terms of what businesses are doing to impact people's lives as they patronize them under the socially smart business model that we're taking a lead on. Okay, thank you for that question, because you don't even need to register with us. As long as you're patronizing the businesses, you will be captured. So it's part of the seamlessness that we're talking about. You have made the purchase on MTN. It doesn't matter where you buy the airtime. You meet the purchase threshold, you'll get an SMS immediately. And you didn't go and register, but we consider, yes, you're patronizing, and of course, they have reached out to you. That's what it is. So it keeps it very simple. It's part of our E-Nuts program, which is in the natural order of things. And we're not taking you out of what you regularly would do. It's in the natural way you're already buying airtime. You're already buying electricity. You're already doing those things. So we're partnering with those businesses. In fact, shortly, you're going to see a major program. The managing directors of Port Harcourt Disco, Benin Disco, and the Code Disco, you're going to see a lot on CashToken shortly. Part of what they're doing is also understanding the impact of the economy on the people and bringing in new rewards to actually be able to help the people who buy electricity from them. You get some real impact.